This is Creepy and Geeky. Welcome to Creepy and Geeky. I'm your host, Robert, and on today's Minisode, Donna and I are talking about the stuff we got into this last week. How's it going, Donna?
Robert, it is going splendid because at the time we are recording this, it is now September. We are in the embers, my friend.
We are. It's Halloween
cannot
Eve
wait.
month.
Dude, it's already Halloween. I'm already pulling out decorations.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I'm one of those people that Halloween is all year long for me. I don't give a crap.
Right.
And like anybody who says otherwise can suck it.
Yeah, they can suck it.
Yeah. Because I don't care, man. I love Halloween. Halloween is my life. Pretty much all year long. So I wear horror shit. My room is fucking decorated in horror shit. Halloween has no time period for me. It is all the time.
It runs through our veins, people.
Yes.
You do not understand.
This is true. Well, yes, it is. It is great. Finally, September 1st, as we're recording. So, you know, you'll be hearing this a few days later. So celebrate the Halloween time with us. So here's the thing. It might be Halloween for us all the time, but it's Halloween. It's starting to become Halloween for everybody else now. So you're starting to see the Spirit Halloween stores are opening. Halloween, like stores are starting to stock their Halloween stuff. So, you know, it's starting to finally feel, even if it is still a little way too hot here, you know, living down here in the South, it is it's still starting to become Halloween.
I didn't even bring up the hot this week. I was being
I know you didn't. Yeah. I was actually surprised. I was like, a week where she didn't say it's hot.
You know, this is the time that, you know, people that are less melanated get excited about pumpkin spice and shit. Not for me. However, it's funny because my daughter loves pumpkin spice and I'm like, whose child are you?
Well, I mean, she is half white. I mean, it makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Fuck all of that. And this is a
hey, I'm a white guy and I like spice. Yeah, I'm a white person. I don't do pumpkin spice.
So. Thank God. That's one of the reasons I might like you. I don't know. That makes me feel all right about you now. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm just ready to watch horror consecutively till my eyes bleed, but I do that anyway.
I was gonna say, how is that different than any other week?
I get to ramp it up a little bit more, Robert. Jeez.
Now you have an excuse. You're like, now it's Halloween time. I can do it anytime I want.
Excuse. I do what I want. I'm grown.
Right. We were just talking about this off air too, about how like we might be 50 plus years old, but we are not grown-ups.
No,
so we will never be grown-ups. No. We're Gen X, baby, man.
It's part of the Peter Pan myth. I have to stay this age forever.
Gen X never grows up.
No.
We never die.
We just get better toys.
We just
right? Money to get better toys.
Right?
I'm not being sexual. I'm just meaning actual toys, okay?
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
You guys do what you want. I don't judge, but you know, I'm just saying. So now that I've gotten that off of my chest, say it with your whole chest, Donna. I only have a few items, but the items I brought hopefully are good.
I'm sure they will be.
However, want you to go first because I want to hear about your movies because I know you went and saw some movies. I know you did.
I did. I went and saw 2 movies this week at the theater. So I did. I'm going to start with the first one, which was The Crow, which was.
Oh my gosh.
I actually liked it.
I was going to say, please tell me your opinions on this dog in this movie.
You know that it's interesting though too because I'm seeing a lot of mixed on it. There's a lot of people who are actually have been okay about it, and there's some people who like have just outright hated it and everything. And I get it to a certain degree. I think there is some nostalgia stuff going in for the people who don't like it. I think it really colors their attitudes on it. and makes them less accepting of it. I'm not going to say that's everybody, because there's definitely people who are looking at it with maybe a more critical eye, who just, or maybe not a more critical eye, but just where it just doesn't connect with them. There's lots of stuff, as we all know, that lots of people love that I just am just met on. So it just, it's subjective. That's what's fun about entertainment in general. It's all pretty subjective.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's interesting. But I like the movie a lot. I think it's really well done. I love Bill Skarsgård in this. It's great to see him doing even more action. Um, uh, like after, because he was just in Boy Kills World earlier
Right.
this year. And so he it's really good, and apparently it's like a closer adaptation of the original comic book than even
Ooh.
the movie, or the original movie
See,
was.
that makes me
um
feel better about it because I really do love that comic, and
right,
that makes me, I was going to watch it anyway,
right,
but I'm glad that you said that, you thought
yeah,
it was a pretty good
that's what I've
film.
heard. That's what
Yeah.
I've heard. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. And it is, I don't know, it just worked for me a lot better. Now again, I haven't seen the original Crow in years, and I'm going to rewatch it soon, just so I can kind of compare them and see what
Mhm.
the how it was. But like I've said, I have no real connection to it. There's a lot of people who, like, they tie in everything with Brandon Lee's death and
Right.
everything. So like I get it. I really do. But like I feel like people just need to take a step back from that, check out the movie on its own merits, and see if they like it. If they don't, fine,
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But kind of take the nostalgia and your feelings about the original movie, and take a step back and just check it out. I think it's worth at least a watch. So
I find it funny that everybody kind of, well, like you said, it's mixed reviews, but a lot of people are up in arms about that. But then when they had Mad Max Fury Road, nobody really went, "Oh my God, this is terrible. Why would you make another Mad Max movie?"
there's
And
a
the other
there
one was
were
so great.
there
You
were
know what I mean?
some people for sure who did, but I think most people understood that by the time that um um Fury Road came out, that Mel Gibson was definitely past his prime, and
Right.
it wasn't going to be worth it in that way. Um like I like even the director of the original Crow has been shitting on the new one
Yes,
and
I
stuff
know.
like
I've
that.
been
And
seeing it.
I really don't like that, because that just really, like, it seemed to me that's just really in bad taste. Like I get that for him it's more meaningful because of Brandon Lee's death.
Hmm.
And so there's a deeper connection even for him. And so I kind of give it a little bit of a pass, but not too much of one, because like it just bothers me for anybody to be like saying stuff like that when they don't
Well, I mean, you're
really need to
just
be like,
crapping over somebody else's vision of what they wanted
yeah,
to do for this character. And
yeah,
a lot of people worked hard on this film. Whether you think
right,
it's a good film or not, you got to give credit
exactly,
to them for doing what they do. And this is,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm gonna
yeah,
I'm gonna watch it. I cannot wait
yeah,
because I'm a huge fan of Bill, so I will watch it
yes.
anyway. And I do want to ask though, I know FKA Twigs probably wasn't in the movie that much, but how was she overall?
She seemed good. I'm not real familiar with her as an actress overall,
Hmm.
but she wasn't bad. I believed in their relationship. It comes and goes really quick. I will say that, like,
Hmm.
but you do feel like they fall in love.
Okay.
So there is definitely that. Um, like it's hard to do any kind of movie like where there's like a love story like that
Hmm.
without kind of having to kind of speed run it a little bit to
Right.
get to the rest of the plot. But they do a pretty good job at creating this love story, I thought. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah, I mean, every again, to each their own. If you don't like the movie because you don't like the movie, that's fine. There's plenty of movies everybody else thinks are awesome that I'm just like,
Meh.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. So what was the other one that you saw?
I know you really want to get to this one. You keep pushing me, keep pushing me.
I am pushing. Go, go, go.
I also saw Strange Darling this week, which is the new Kyle Gallner movie. And oh my gosh, what's her name? Willa Fitzgerald. Um, this one was written and directed by J.T. Molnar, but the director of photography on this was Giovanni Ribisi.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was an interesting thing. I don't know if he's done any other um, camera work or anything prior to this, but people should know. I mean, some people should know who Giovanni Ribisi is. He's an actor. Um, he's in a bunch of stuff in the '90s, including guest spots on the TV show Friends, where he played Phoebe's brother. But he was in a bunch of other stuff as
Mm-hmm.
well. But the cinematography in this is really good. So I'll say that much. I did call the quote unquote twist of the movie from the trailer. But it didn't take me out of it.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, like even though I knew what was going to happen, there is a moment where you go, wait, is it going to happen? And then it does happen. And then you're like, okay, that's fine. And then but again, even with that twist in hand, you still, to me, it feels like, and it's a good twist. Even if you like, even if you guess it,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just the story itself is worth watching to see what happens.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, it's really good. I think people should definitely go out there trying to get people to go out and see it in the theaters as much as possible. I think people should if you have the chance to. I know it's not playing everywhere. But they are trying to, word of mouth, get people out there to go check it out. So definitely if you're interested in seeing it and it's in your area, definitely go check it out. It's a lot of not a lot of fun, but it's a good movie. So
So the reason I was pushing you for this one
yeah.
is because I just bought a T-shirt. Have not seen the movie, y'all. I'm so in love with Kyle. So this gentleman who makes T-shirts, he makes a lot of movie T-shirts. I own quite a few. Laptop Lassane art.
Yeah.
He made a shirt and it just says simply "Choke me, Kyle Gallner," and I was like,
Nah.
okay, you know your audience, sir, and
Yeah.
bravo. So I just purchased that shirt. Now I have to find this movie playing somewhere near me because I really need to put these two things together. Because
That's
I'm
cool.
assuming there's some kind of scene.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I thought I
Yeah.
lost you for
There's
a second.
no. Sorry. Yeah. No. There's definitely a scene,
Okay.
which fits the t-shirt. So,
Yeah, I
um,
can't. I can't watch that movie with my husband. That ain't gonna happen.
yeah.
But I really do want to see it though because I've heard wonderful things about it. Not
Yeah.
just about Kyle. I mean, just
Yeah.
overall, like you stated, that the movie is one that you should probably see in the theaters if
Yeah.
possible.
It's told like, well, I don't want to spoil
Don't give
anything.
yeah, don't give
Even minor little things I don't want to say because I want people
no.
to go into it as clean as
Go into it
possible.
as blind as
Yeah.
possible.
I mean, if you want to watch the trailer, but outside of that, I would say, go in uh as blind as possible. So
Dang, those were two good films, man. It sounds like
yeah,
you had
no,
a lot
yeah,
of
it was
fun.
it was a good week. I enjoyed both of these. And I had plans to go see the new movie Afraid, the new AI Run Amok
Hmm.
movie. Um, but I'll end up going and seeing that with things the way they are with scheduling and everything like that. I'll probably be seeing movies instead of before the weekend. I'll see them after the weekend. So you guys will be hearing about the movies after like an extra week after they've come out. So which is fine. It hopefully won't be too far past the if anybody's interested in what I'm saying that you'll still be able to go see them. Should Most
Yeah,
of
I'm
these
sure
should
they'll
still
be
be
on
playing in
board.
theaters. Yeah, so I should be going and seeing Afraid this next week. And then this coming up week, Beetlejuice, and what's the other one? Can't remember. Um, there was another movie coming out this week that I wanted to see. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I just hate leaving dead air.
No, well, you know what? You can edit that out.
Yeah. Oh, the
And you
front
can edit
room.
that out.
The
Oh, the
front
front room.
room.
We just talked
Yes.
about
I
it.
know.
Duh.
That's why it was just killing me. I was like, we were just talking about these movies. Yeah, no, the front room, which is one I've been wanting to see since I saw it. It's Brandy's return to horror. And I just heard too that she, so they've been gearing up for a like a legacy sequel of
Hmm.
I Know What You Did Last Summer, and she hadn't heard anything from anybody about possibly returning because her character lives
Right.
in her movie because she was in the sequel. I still know what she did last summer. And um so nobody had contacted her about possibly returning, and uh I guess people kind of were like, why has she not been asked? It was kind of one of those situations where the girl from The Craft, I can't remember her name now.
Oh, Rachel True.
Yeah, Rachel True hadn't been asked to go to all the conventions that the other three were asked to
Yeah,
go
that's
to.
kind of shitty when you think about
Yeah,
it. Like,
very
bro.
shitty. Um, and so she has since been in talks with them about potentially coming back. So we'll see what happens. Who knows? Movies are always, kind of funky and weird. So, but yeah, no, I'm very interested in seeing uh both of those as soon as possible. What's it called? Um, Beetlejuice in the front room,
Yeah, the front
along
room,
with
that
Afraid.
trailer has me
Oh
like on the
man,
edge of my seat. It's gonna be
yeah,
so crazy.
yeah, it's gonna be nuts and a half for sure. All right. So what did you bring me today?
Oh, so nothing really big. I just wanted to state that this month, for the month of September, Shudder is actually going to be playing In a Violent Nature. So if you haven't
Yeah.
seen that one, it's going to be out, I think, debuting on September 13th, Friday the 13th, of course. And they're also going to have Eight Eyes. I don't know if you remember a good few episodes back, Robert, I talked about this trailer for Eight Eyes. And I don't know if you ever watched it, but
No.
oh my goodness. It's
Remember
like,
this.
it looks like a 70s throwback to, the kind of exploitation horror. It's one I'm looking forward to. And that one's going to be on Shudder September 23rd.
Okay.
And I believe they're also going to have on Shudder that film Oddity that is coming out towards the end of September.
Yes. Yeah, I heard about that one.
So I'm most excited to see that stuff. But HBO, they Max is going to have I Saw the TV Glow, which I didn't get to see, but you saw. So
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
very excited to watch this.
Yay. Yes. I'm glad that that's coming. Yeah. That's cool because I would like more people to watch that. I do remember you talking about Eight Eyes now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
So I'll have to
it's
check that out.
yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was playing anywhere. I was waiting for it to be streaming on
Yeah.
Shudder. So I'm just really glad that they're producing these movies, but then also putting them on that platform. So
Yeah.
if it's not playing near you, you can watch it. And so
Yeah.
In a Violent Nature, I'm sold. Like I already told my husband, clear your calendar. We're watching this movie on that night. You can forget it. I don't care
Yes.
what's on. We're watching this movie.
Yeah. It's definitely worth a watch for sure. So,
So that's
all
my
right.
first little blurb.
Yeah. All right. Let me see real quick. Um, Speaking of trailers and such, the Rosemary's Baby prequel series, Apartment 7A, which is going to be coming on Paramount Plus, they dropped a trailer this last week.
I saw this trailer.
Yes, this is like, look, so I need to rewatch Rosemary's Baby because it's been quite a while since I saw it.
Right.
But it's one of those movies that's like one of those classic movies that I just kind of like on. So I need to go back and rewatch it just so that I can see if like maybe now I'm older, maybe it'll hit different. But this trailer looks very interesting. So I'm kind of down for it so far. I'm fingers crossed. I'm hopeful it'll be pretty cool. So
Well, it was kind of neat too seeing Julia Garner with with that brown hair. You know, I'm so used to seeing her with that curly blonde hair. So seeing
Yeah,
her,
I didn't recognize who she was. Let me see.
if you've seen Ozarks, trying to
Oh,
think of
yeah,
what
no, I've
else.
never watched Ozark.
Yeah, so she played a character named Ruth on that show, and she was
Okay.
outstanding. But she's such a great actress. I'm very interested in this trailer. Rosemary's Baby is a year watch for us, just
Yeah.
because my mother loved that movie so much, and that was the kind of horror movies that she would watch, like suspenseful, not too gory. You know, nothing that was going to have a lot of body horror or special effects. It just wasn't her bag. But Rosemary's Baby, oh my gosh, it's fantastic. Even if you rewatch it again and you're like, it's okay, I
Yeah.
can see it coming a mile away. Everybody can see it coming, but it still
Yeah.
hits so well for me. And so this trailer and watching those I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be great.
Right. So I thought it was a series, but it's just a movie. Apartment 7A
Oh, it
is just a
is just a
movie. Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense because I was like, how are they
Yeah.
gonna stretch this out for like
Yeah.
weeks? You know?
So and then she's also Julia Garner's also going to be in the new Fantastic Four movie. So
Oh, really?
yes, she's going to be playing the character Shalabal / Silver Surfer. So, which
Oh,
is interesting because it's
wow.
a different take on the Silver Surfer, because Silver Surfer was a man named Norrin Rad. But busting out my comic book knowledge
But
here.
he did have
Um,
different
so well,
heralds going forward, right?
right, yes, but Shalabal is actually the love of Norrin Rad. So it's
Oh,
interesting that it may be in this alter. So the theory is that this Fantastic Four is not from our dimension,
right.
our universe, that they're from a different one, and then they come into ours. And so so I'm assuming that because or into the MCU anyway. That this is because this is going to be a different take on it. That Shalabal will have been the one who you became the
Mhm.
herald rather than Norrin.
Right.
So it'll be interesting whichever way it works. But yeah, so um, but yeah, no, Apartment 7A looks interesting. I'll definitely be giving that a look. As well as going back and watching Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on Rosemary's
Yeah,
Baby. It was a movie ahead of its time, especially when it comes to like being a pregnant mother
yeah.
and having all these doubts and
Well, and
it's
it's so funny in this year, like of
a lot of pregnancy
Immaculate
movies.
and First Omen, you got a lot of pregnancy, like
Yeah.
a demonic pregnancy horror.
It's really, yeah.
I'm not a religious person, but I'm so down for the all of this. So
Yeah, all
it's
of this stuff is creeping me out. If I didn't already have kids, I damn sure wouldn't be having any after watching it.
yeah,
I
because
actually got to
you
watch Immaculate
I was
and
gonna say you got to watch Immaculate.
I
What,
did.
like, tell me what you thought real quick.
It was it left me with my jaw open. That's all I can really
That
say without.
final scene, like the movie's
Oh,
great.
the movie
The
is
movie's great.
amazing.
The movie is so good. Sydney Sweeney does such a great job in it. And then like that final sequence, I was like, holy crap. I was like, I can't
Yeah.
believe they got away with that and put that on. Like, I mean, sure, put it on film. I wasn't surprised at that, but put it in a wide release movie. I was just like, wow. That's
Have you done an episode of either of these movies yet?
no,
Because I
not
feel like
yet.
you and I need to talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
these.
yeah, we should. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's too funny. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll have to do a series on on this kind of stuff. Maybe do
Yeah, I don't want to ruin
Rosemary's
it for anybody
Baby,
that
these two
hasn't seen it,
movies,
but
and some others.
it had me with my jaw was literally on the floor, and I didn't know what to do with myself, and then I was just like, "That is brilliant."
Yeah. Yeah, no. So everybody should go watch Immaculate.
Please do.
All right. So what else you got for me?
Well, actually, I had the apartment 7A, so you talked about that, but that's fine. So, they do have a kind of a teaser trailer for another installment. I think it's the seventh installment of the VHS films.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Was that one that you were gonna?
No, I almost put it on mine, but I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna put it on.
So this one's called VHS Beyond, and it's got stories inside of this one. I'm most excited for this one because Kate Siegel
I
is
was gonna say
directing
Kate
this.
Siegel's got a
Yeah.
segment in it. It's her first directing. Yeah, I'm
I'm
excited.
I'm very excited to see what story she's going to bring to life. But this is going to hit Shutter in October. I think October 4th is when that's coming.
Yeah,
So
that's
if you
awesome.
haven't seen the trailer, please go check it out. It looks wild, and I'm not the biggest find footage person. I really am
Yeah.
not. I've watched all of these now religiously just because I don't know. I like the little snippets, and not all of the stories hit. Some of them are just kind of like,
Yeah.
eh, but that's fine. I'm perfect. And you're not an anthology person anyway, so I'm not even trying to sway you. But Kate Siegel, if I say Kate Siegel, he'll watch it, y'all.
This is true. I love Kate Siegel.
I
I
do
like Mike
too.
Flanagan. That's actually written by Mike Flanagan, directed by Kate Siegel. So,
Exactly. It doesn't get any
and there's
better than
actually a
that.
sequence. There's actually a sequence also directed and written by Christian Long and Justin Long.
Justin Long, yeah. I saw.
Yeah. So
I didn't want
I
to
was
bring
just
him
like,
up. He's a little problematic.
is he okay? I don't know. Like,
I mean,
I
who isn't at this point? But
yeah.
it's just. However, that's coming, so I'm very excited in a way. Like I said, some
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
VHS I can take or leave, but I usually can find at least one or two
There's
best
usually like
stories.
one segment in each
Yeah.
one of them that I really like, and it's usually not the one everybody else likes. Um, of course. Sorry, everybody. I just have different tastes.
I mean, I'm like that too, though, because sometimes people rave on about stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want. I said it on my Talk to Me episode. I put that shit off for so long because I was just like,
Oh,
is it really that good though?
yeah. I need to listen. I'm gonna listen to that tonight while I'm
Don't
working.
worry.
No, because I
But
want to, because I like that movie. But it
because
was like,
sometimes it rubs me the wrong way when people are like,
yeah,
"You gotta see this is the best." Is it really though? Is it
yeah,
really that
no,
good?
absolutely. This is exactly what I was when the movie first came out, I was really resistant to going and watching it because everybody was like, "Oh my God, Talk to Me is so good," blah blah blah, and I was like, "Oh my God, it can't be that good." And it's like the same thing with Barbarian. I resisted Barbarian for a long
Hmm.
time too. Well, not like too long because they were both still in theaters when I went.
Right.
But like the first couple of weeks or so, I was just like, I don't know if I really want to go see this. And then I went and saw Talk to Me in the theater. I was like, holy shit, this is actually pretty
This is
good.
really good.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm glad I went. And same with Barbarian. I mean, Barbarian's fucking nuts. But that's so worth it. Like, I don't know. But and that's the thing though. It cracks me up too, because like everybody talks about like Malignant. And I can't stand Malignant. It's fine. Here's my thing. I I put myself on blast again.
No, put yourself on blast. Come
I
on.
know, I know. I don't care. People can come
Say
at
it
me
with
all they
your
want.
chest. I always
I
tell people
know.
say it with your whole
So
chest.
I'm not like outside of the first Saw movie, I have not liked a single one. Like I don't hate them, but I
Hmm.
don't like think that James Wan's movies are all that great. I'm
I
not a
think
fan of The
they're hit and
Conjuring.
miss.
I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of the Conjuring movies. I'm not a fan of Insidious. I'm not a fan of Malignant. And that's what's funny too, is like Malignant is one of those movies where I called it early on about what the quote
What
unquote
the
twist of
twist
the
was.
movie
Yeah.
was. And where, like, don't get me wrong, if I can call a twist ahead of time, that doesn't necessarily mean the movie's going to be good or bad for me. It's the rest of the execution of it.
Right.
Malignant just didn't work for me. Like, it just did not. Like, everybody's like, oh my God, like, crazy horror is back. And I'm like, crazy horror's always been here, by the way. You just ain't watching the right stuff. And Barbarian was one of those that was a crazy horror that I liked. It was like that one hit for me because it was just in my right, like,
Right.
in the right wheelhouse of my weird. So, but yeah, so come at me, people. I don't like
But
James
I
Wan.
mean, I'm literally like that with any movie. Like when Forrest Gump came out, and everybody was like, "Oh, you got to see it," and I'm like, "Okay, no, I don't. I can read the book. I read the book before I even saw the movie because I was like,
Yeah.
no, this is not going to be for me." And then when I saw it, I was like, "Okay, I get it," but no, it took me like I think it was already on VHS before I even watched
Yeah,
it because I just didn't give a shit. I was
I
like, "Whatever."
I think it's an okay movie, but it does not hold up. It
Yeah,
like
just
Forrest Gump just does, Forrest Gump is great as a one watch only thing. You watch it again, it's just kind of like, like I'm sorry, there were at least two better movies out that year that should have gotten the Oscar
oh
on top of
yeah,
that. One was fucking Pulp
Pulp
Fiction,
Fiction.
and the other
Definitely, I already knew.
You already know because I'm a Quentin Tarantino fan. And then number two was The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh my
Like,
God.
like that movie itself could have blown everything else out of the water. So like, don't even talk to me about like Forrest
Yeah,
Gump. Like, shut
sometimes
up.
it's just if I hear too much hype, I get like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a couple of weeks to die down, and then I'll dive into it if I like Long Legs. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it is.
it's good. It's a lot of fun. It's I mean, not a lot of fun. It's like don't the problem is people keep comparing it
Just Silence of the
to
Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs, and it's not Silence of the Lambs in any way, shape, or form. Like I
Yeah,
really wish people would stop comparing it to that. Um, so it's just weird. People need
yeah.
to stop.
So
It's a good movie on its own. Sorry, go ahead.
no, no, no. I was just gonna say that that's my only spiel about it. It's like sometimes, people just they hype shit up too much, and then it's like,
Yeah,
okay, I think it's okay. And then the thing I hate, and this is for moviegoers and movie watchers, if you say something is okay, oh well, you didn't get it. That's always the
yeah,
no, I got it. It just
yeah.
didn't do anything
It
for
didn't land for
me.
me. Yeah.
That's all. We can disagree. We don't have to all like the same
Yeah, like
things.
that's my thing. Like, I get it. Everybody loves The Exorcist. Everybody loves The Shining. I know you like The Shining. But
I like it okay. It's not my
yeah.
favorite.
Yeah. I know. But like my thing is just like those movies don't land for me. They're
Yeah.
fine. They're okay. They just don't land for me. Like I'm not saying like and that's the thing. Like don't get me wrong. There's very few movies I would ever say are just horrible pieces of shit.
Mhm.
And I used to say that those two movies were just junk, but I don't anymore because I recognize as I got older that the movies themselves aren't bad. They're just not for me.
Right.
And so, and like and I like terrible shit. Everybody knows that there's movies that I love that other people think are utter crap. Scream 3, Sleepwalkers. Y'all can suck at those movies are great, but come at me.
We're being real hostile in this
I
episode today.
know. I know. um,
Oh my God. I
but
mean, yeah, I know people who think the whole Scream franchise sucks, and I'm just like,
yeah,
no, it doesn't, but
they're
okay.
wrong. But yeah, don't get me wrong. There's a couple in there I rank lesser, and I rarely will ever
Oh
if
yeah.
like will watch those. But and there's some of the ones people love the most. But it just taste is so subjective.
Hmm.
And that's where I come at it. It's just like, look, some movies don't work for me, especially some that people love to death. I just don't get it. They're not for me.
I think
So
that's a big reason why I like doing the podcast because I
yeah,
always say it's a movie that I personally feel deserves a little bit
exactly.
more love. You might not like it, but for me,
Right.
I would love other people to watch this movie so I can talk to you about this movie.
Right.
So, I think that was all I actually had. I really didn't bring a whole lot.
I have two more things. I have one more
Woohoo, good.
trailer. So this week, the Terrifier 3 trailer dropped. And I'll admit, and I've said it before, I'm not a big Terrifier fan. I don't really get the appeal of it. I'm not going to shit on everybody's thing. Again, this is something just like we were talking about, something that I just don't dig on
Mhm.
that other people love. Um, I don't hate it. I'm not going to talk bad about it. It's just not my thing. I did think the second movie was better than the first. The second movie like was kind of leaps and bounds kind of better than the
Oh,
first one.
wow.
A lot more story, a lot more lore into it. Sienna, Lauren Lavera playing Sienna is like fantastic in that. She's a great final girl. Have you seen any of the
I
Terrifier
haven't
movies?
watched any of them, but I think I'm gonna go back and watch them before this third one comes
Yeah.
out.
And then this new one looks interesting. Again, I'm not gonna like it doesn't look super interesting.
Mhm.
I mean, I got to go out and see it. I'll probably go see it. I didn't see the second one in theater because I didn't really care. But I might go see this one in theaters just because, it's there and, it'd be interesting to go check it out. It looks like it's set during Christmas time.
I
We
was
got
just going to
artist
say this
Santa.
is a
Yeah.
Christmas one.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to kind of check it out. So, uh, it it looks interesting. They're definitely more. Sienna's back, so, and her brother,
Oh
so
wow.
yeah, so it's they're continuing that storyline, which is great. So I think they're expanding the lore and the mythology and everything like that that goes in and on it. So it looks interesting. I'm gonna give it a chance, just like I gave the first two a chance. So we'll see what happens with it.
Well, I like the fact that they haven't said at Christmas. We need more Christmassy horror films. So
Right?
that actually makes me happy. So yeah, I definitely want to go and watch the first two,
Yeah.
especially that I heard, after hearing what you said about the second
Yeah.
and the final, I guess, final girl.
Yes.
Um, and it's interesting because I've heard a lot of people say that they do love the second one more than the first. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, even fans seem to really like think
yeah.
the second one is like, it's a much better story. It's better written, better. Like, I think the first movie was just kind of like, let's be crazy, as crazy as we can. Let's put it out there. And then when they were going, okay, let's create a new one. Let's like kind of delve into the story a bit.
Hmm.
And so and it worked really well. It at least well enough that I gave it 3 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. It worked well enough for me that I'm willing to give number three a chance. So
Huh.
yeah,
Well, I'll definitely put it in my October roster of films to
yeah,
watch during the month, so I
definitely.
can at least see what it's all about before I start naysaying the Terrifier movies.
Right? Yeah,
Because when I
yeah.
went to Spooky Empire, the line to meet him was so fucking long, and
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, "Really? Are you got
Well,
really?"
yeah. Well, and apparently the director and the actor are like the nicest people ever.
Oh no,
So
they
it's like,
seem
and that's
super
what's great.
nice.
Like, and that's what's hilarious about like horror and stuff like that. That's people talk about all the time, like, how horror people are actually really the nicest people, and they are.
They
Every
are.
horror convention I've been to, everybody, and we talked about this last week.
Hmm.
Every horror convention I've been to, everybody is so nice, and so cool and so fun. And I've met and talked to people like Kane Hodder and Kate Siegel and Elvira and everything else,
Hmm.
and everybody's been so nice and cool and everything, and it's just like it's they're always a lot of fun. So the last thing I have is that I was recently on an episode of Sledgehammer Horror. They have a YouTube channel. They do lots of cool, fun horror stuff. They
Hmm.
also have a series on my first horror movies. And so I got invited to come on to that and talk about my first horror movie. I can't really remember what my first horror movie is, but I believe it was The Thing.
Oh wow.
So I got to talk to them for a little bit about the thing and horror and other stuff. So it was a lot of fun. You should definitely go check it out. It's Sledgehammer Horror on YouTube. So, uh, but before we head on out, why don't you let everyone know what you've got on your show this week?
Oh, geez. Oh, so, so I, I was too busy thinking about you talking about the thing because I know we talked about it before. So now I have to
Yes,
go and watch this to hear what you had to say about my
I
favorite horror
know.
movie ever. Um, Solely because of Kurt Russell. I know it is solely because of that man, but no, the body horror stuff is outstanding in that movie. So since we will be in the month of September by the time anybody hears of my episode, I decided to do September sleepers, or basically
Okay.
movies that I feel are sleeper hits that people either don't talk about or,
Okay.
just my usual. I always love to give love to movies that I just do not see people in the horror community talking about.
Yeah.
Um, so the one that I'm kicking off, and it's funny too because they actually showed this a clip from this film on the new Shutter series Horror's Greatest,
Yeah.
is Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and
Okay.
I absolutely love this movie, and I really don't see a lot of people talking about it, and I'm kind of hoping that that clip on that doc will get people wanting to see it. But that's the first one that I'm going to talk about, and um, I love the whole mockumentary style of film. Once again, I'm not a found footage person, but I do love when they follow someone to get kind of ideas of what they do and why they do it. And that's pretty much what this film is, about a slasher who's giving us a peek behind the curtain of how slashers pick their victims, how do they stage where they take their victims. It's hilarious. If
Right.
you've not seen it, it's really funny
Yeah.
and
No.
creepy.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Yeah, I have a copy of it from Scream Factory. I got it a couple of years ago when they
Mm-hmm.
were having some big sale. I just like bought a whole bunch of movies. Um, but yeah, it's really good. Definitely people should check it out. Yeah, it's a nice little deconstruction of the slasher genre. Um, so yeah, I can't wait to listen to that episode and see what you have to say about it.
Yeah, I always try to keep it long, but for some reason I keep talking and I gotta stop doing that. I love when I can get in and get out, and lately I have not been doing that. But yeah, I hope everybody will like it when they listen to it, and I hope they'll watch the movie if they've not seen it.
Yeah, no, definitely. That'll be a lot of fun. And I will get caught up and listen to your episode from last week on Talk to Me tonight when I work.
Oh
So,
wow.
so yeah, so it'd be a lot of fun. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming on every week and
Of course.
talking new stuff with me. It's always a lot of fun to catch up and see what we've both bringing to the table.
I just like hearing about your movies because I never go. I really do. I get to live through you in the cinema, and it's nice because one of these days I'm gonna sync up with my kids, but because everybody works, we can
Oh my
never
God, I
figure out the
know.
time to go, and nobody wants to go see anything without anybody. So it's like a pain in my ass.
Yeah, this kind of was similar. Like, so my daughter and I have been going pretty much every Thursday.
Hmm.
Every week we go on Thursday nights, which is the night the movies drop. And so we've been trying for like quite a while to do that. Like she was working at the movie theater, we were doing it then. Then she quit the movie theater for a little bit, and I got A-list, and she had A-list for a while as well. So we are still doing the Thursday night thing. She started back at the movie theater and that was still working out for the most part, but with my schedule I'm having to drive a lot more,
Hmm.
so it makes it kind of a little bit tighter for uh doing that on Thursday nights, and so that's why it's kind of shifting a little bit. So now we're not watching the movies together so much, and the last few she hasn't really cared to go see anyway. So we're gonna see how things work out, because I know she's probably gonna want to see some of these coming up, but I don't even know if she really cares about the couple that are coming out this next week. Beetlejuice
Beetlejuice in the
and
front
the
room.
front room. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, no. So it's made it slightly difficult in going. So I've been going to the movies a lot by myself now. So like in the middle of the day. So which is fun because I get to go with all the other dudes who are like they're all alone in the middle of the day. And
I need to just move down there so we can just go to the movies together.
right, that would be fun. Yeah, talk about it afterward and just. Although then we would need to I'd have to put down the phone and record us talking about it, so
I
it could be a
know.
lot of fun. Do impromptu podcast episode right then and there.
Oh my gosh.
So, all right. Well, thanks again. And we'll talk to you next week. And until then, stay creepy. Thanks for listening. If you like what you've heard, please consider giving the show 5 stars and a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And share the podcast on social media to help spread the word. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app or at creepyandgeeky.com. Music for the podcast is Gratitude, composed by Harper Smith. You can follow the podcast by going to creepyandgeeky.com and clicking on any of the social links. If you'd like to follow me, you can find my links at geekthulu.com. You can support the podcast by ordering teas and more on TeePublic or by donating to the coffee page. All of the links are in the show notes. Finally, don't forget, stay creepy.